Hi folks, welcome to HUGHROCKO Interviews on Location. Today we are with David Cooke of the band Angry Pirate. So David, I'm going to ask you some questions, as you probably noticed from previous videos I've done. Who are your influences?
Oh, my very first concert was when I was a wee teenager. Robin Trower at the Liverpool Stadium, and it changed my life.
Wow.
Before that point, I was into like Neil Young and Stephen Stills, particularly live with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, where they had these guitar conversations. So it was all very like kinetic and fiery.
Yeah.
They weren't just playing riffs; they were actually talking to each other with guitars.
Yeah.
And then I saw Robin Trower, and it changed my life. Because up to that point, I think my first real guitar hero was Jan Akkerman. Although technically he was way above anything I could comprehend. But when I saw Robin Trower, the power of the three-piece hit me really hard. And I got into that sort of like Hendrixy vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got into like Frank Marino. I liked that people like Ernie Isley and Andy Latimer of Camel.
Camel.
Yeah. And then like in the later years, then being born when I was born, they were my formative guitarists.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'd have been born 5 years later, I would have been taken by the likes of Edward Van Halen and people like that. But I was already setting the mould I wanted to go in. You know, melodic players like Peter Frampton, that sort of guitarist. A lot of the like neoclassical and very flamboyant technical shredders, that more or less came after me.
Yeah.
So they never really influenced me at all.
No.
So it's the likes of Frank Marino, Robin Trower, Jan Ackerman, Ernie Isley, and Andy Latimer, people like that.
Well, and do you think that you play that sort of style yourself? Do you pick it up?
Well,
the way they play, or
to a degree, yes. I'm a bit of a mishmash, but I tend to, in recent years, have slowed right down.
Yeah.
Because I've been in Devon for like the last 30 years up until the last couple, and I found that I was just playing faster and faster and faster, till it was just going over people's heads.
Yeah.
I was throwing in jazz fusion licks and things like that, and people were saying, "Oh, it's marvellous, David, but I don't understand it."
Don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that point on, people said, "You know, when you slow down, you're much better."
Yeah.
So I more or less went back to the style of Robin Trower, where he was more thoughtful.
Yeah.
I still get carried away and go widdly, you know.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah. But I'm at my best when I'm most restrained.
Yeah, when you're just sort of chilling out and say, right, instead of
power notes.
When there's no guitarists in the room, you all just chill out down.
Yeah.
And they come in and you go,
Well, you've hit on something there, because it's the thing that a lot of guitarists will play to the guitarists in the room to try to impress the two or three people there instead of playing to everybody else. But I've gone the other way now.
Went back the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realise that I'm not going to impress the guitarists in the room, so I may as well stick to impressing the people and just trying to play the best tunes I can play, you know.
And you find out nowadays, a lot of the songs nowadays, okay, a lot of them are different now from what they were when we were up. There's not a lot of solos nowadays.
No, it's
and if there is, it seems to be a sax.
Strum.
The sax seems to be coming into it more. But anyway, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a lost art, really.
Yeah, it is.
Which is quite wonderful in some ways when you go to some of the open mics and you see some of the younger people.
Oh, they're amazing, some of them.
Yeah. And people say, rock and roll is dying out and guitars are dying out. And I thought, well, these young people are making that look a bit silly, aren't they? You know, we got a young boy who comes to the open mic night. He's only 14. He's incredible. He's
a brilliant player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I watched that guitar thing that was on Sky. And some of the stuff they were playing, it was just like, what are they playing? And funny tunings and everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow.
It's very impressive.
That yourself. And then you just learnt them, because who learned you that?
And yet, Andy Latimer of Camel can play one note and make you cry.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When we were watching guitar players, you sort of went, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
But these new players that are coming out, who made them go, I want to be like him? Because nobody. They must have just learned the style.
Very competitive though, isn't it? It's like, who's going to be the next strangest
It's like taking Eddie Van Halen and detuning and different tunes and cleaning it up and banging and drumming at the same time.
But you could also say, at what point does it cease to become music and more become a party piece?
Yeah, well, that's that as well.
A series of tricks.
I mean, I'm no I'm not going to down anybody that uses loopers and things because it's clever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a looper on my pedal, and sometimes I come out with great stuff, and other times it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And I think, how could you keep that up every night?
I think
to get it right.
You've got to be restrained. You've got to have a very restrained, methodical approach.
You could go above and beyond, and then suddenly it's just a big noise.
And I think also if you're doing that sort of thing with loops,
Yeah.
you have to be completely focused on what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, which when I watch Ed Sheeran, he just seems to be away everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got it down to that, obviously.
I think he practices.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
so.
I think he just rehearsals.
He's just
and things.
ginger and he's lucky. That's it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's the value of rehearsing and practicing and working on your craft instead of just trying to wing it.
I'll be honest, I don't know if I could like play Wembley 3 nights on my own like he does. I don't think he'd do that.
No.
It must be to do it with a band would be bad enough, never reckon, but if on your own, knowing that something could just go wrong and it's my fault, it's no his fault or his.
But having said that, that's a wonderful thing when you've got that autonomy when you're on your own because you can't blame anybody else. No. He doesn't have to rely on anybody else to mess things up.
Apart from his sound gear and the crew and that.
But if he plays a wrong note, it's his.
Him.
Yeah. You can't blame the drummer for not rehearsing the ending.
Phil Collins that day on live, and he was like, "Oh, jeez, that was a crack." Anyway, we'll move on.
Okay.
Right, so,
pardon me.
Who are your favourite bands then and now?
Growing up, my first love, my constant love. I love them today, and I love them even more tomorrow. The Beach Boys.
Oh, awesome. Harmonies,
my favourite.
Amazing.
Harmonies, Brian Wilson's more esoteric music.
Yeah,
the emergence of Carl in the late 60s, early 70s as a wonderful talent. It's very spiritual music, and it just every time I hear it, I hear something new, even after all these years.
Yeah.
You know, I can pop Pet Sounds on and I'll hear something I never heard before.
I mean, in the car there, because it's coming up for it, the wife's got the Christmas channel on, so I just left it, and they were on.
Yeah.
Doing the Christmas tune, and it's amazing. It sound, you know, it's them. It's got that typical Beach Boy thing going on, but you know it's them, and the harmonies are still amazing. Even the way the way did the front is brilliant.
I've got
clever,
quite
clever.
a few books here on the Beach Boys. You know, I'm quite an anorak. There's one there. You know, there's a few.
An anorak.
Yeah, I'm a big Beach Boys fan.
Yeah,
and a horror movie fan as well. My other favourite
and a Doctor
bands.
Who by the looks of things. There's a Dalek up there.
Steely Dan.
Oh well, Steely Dan now. Well, yeah, I love Steely Dan.
Funnily enough, what I listen to tends not to be what I play.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's a different thing. You
Snap.
know, and who else I like? Prefab Sprout.
Yeah.
I love Paddy McAloon's music. There's so many. I'm discovering new bands that.
Yeah.
Sorry, new old bands.
New old bands.
Like several years ago, I discovered Pain of Salvation, who've been going since the 90s.
Yes.
And I thought, these are incredible, you know.
Well,
new bands all the time.
It's amazing. I discovered one yesterday. I think it was Opus?
Opeth.
Opus or Opeth or something. Carl put it on, and the playing was incredible. It was like pog rock.
It's Opeth. Yeah.
Oh my God. He says, listen to this dude. I was just like, it was like Genesis meets it, Bites meets somebody else, meets somebody else, and I just sort of sat there going, how did they get past me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got quite a few Opeth CDs.
Well, there you go.
Because it's like Mikel Ackerfeld, he's the leader, it's his band, you know. He does the death metal vocals like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do death metal vocals.
But this one that he was letting me have any of that one. It was just like amazing playing.
Yeah, he's got a clean voice as well. He's got a lovely clean voice.
The solo he didn't even play fast notes, but what he played, it was just like oh.
Well, his biggest influence is Andy Latimer of Camel.
There you are.
There you go.
Back to that again.
Nice melodic solos.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
And who else do I like? Obviously Camel. I liked a bit of prog, still do really.
Yeah.
I get into like stuff retrospectively, like Alex Harvey Band.
Yeah.
You know, the sensational Alex Harvey Band. That passed me by back in the day, because we didn't have the internet in those days. The only way you could hear obscure music was to actually buy it or borrow the LP or something.
You got Luxembourg sometimes. Remember Luxembourg radio? You used to get all the obscure bands on there.
John Peel used to play a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then he discovered the undertones, and then he just went punk, and he kind of lost me there.
Yeah. I think that's why I liked the Tube back in the day as well, because you get all the different bands on there that you wouldn't really hear. Yeah. You know, and
from REM to Twisted Sister.
Yeah, stupid bands. Some bands you go, oh Lord, get them off. Other bands, I remember seeing Bon Jovi on there, and they were awful.
Yeah.
They sounded crap. And I was ringing the Bon Jovi, and when I saw them on the Tube, I went, oh, they're awful. But then I saw them live a few years later, and they were amazing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so they must have just had a bad sound, but even these vocals, it was terrible.
Well, they did something like 250 gigs a year for.
Yeah, well,
they did Slippery When Wet tour.
Yeah.
They did.
Well, that's when
a 4-year tour.
That's when they were on the Tube doing that stuff.
Slippery When Wet, 4-year tour, 250 gigs a year, playing the same 14 songs every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I quite enjoyed the Tube, you know, it was something to watch.
Paula was always a bit saucy.
Oh yeah.
Come on the bed with me. Oh yeah.
Rest in peace,
yeah,
Paula.
she was a great one. It was nuts, but brilliant. And then Jules is sort of trying to keep that tradition going with Jules, because he gets a lot of bands on there as well that you don't really hear.
And it's got a quite good mix, you know, you have some of the older ones and some of the younger
going
ones.
back, I remember him being on with, there was a band on, it was David Byrne and somebody else backing him. It was amazing. It was just like, yeah.
I don't think I saw that. I tend not to watch
television.
television.
It was Mamba or something they were called.
Yeah.
It was him and them.
Was Ladysmith Black Mambazo, was it?
Yeah, something like that. And it was a song about, oh preacher man, you'll never catch me because I dance on gasoline. I was like, Vaseline, sorry. Dance on Vaseline. That's the kind of thing he would sing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and my nephew went around for days making up our own tune with Alice in it. It's just stupid. But anyway, get back to your bands.
Yeah.
We're on a tangent now.
Oh, that's it. I tend to listen to older stuff. Like I said, I go back in time. Sometimes I listen to Philadelphia Soul, like the Delphonics. I really like the Delphonics.
Yeah.
I love the Isley Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, and Ernie was such an influence. Some stuff I listen to that goes right over my head.
Yeah.
But I listen to it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Like Alan Holdsworth's Jazz Fusion.
What?
I can't make sense of it.
Me either.
I'm hoping
I could feel what he's playing.
I think it's like one of those things that if you listen to it enough, I'm going to get something through osmosis, you know. And I must admit, I do one or two slightly tiny little Holdsworth tricks, but I don't have the talent to do what he does.
I think that's why I liked It Bites so much, because Dunnery loved Holdsworth, and you could tell that. Hand off as well, you know what I mean? He's hands off, and he's just giving it. It was just.
I saw him 3 times.
Amazing.
And on the Once Around the World tour, he got a J-cloth and he put it around the neck of his guitar, and he starts going diddle.
He's amazing. He's touring now again. He's touring now. I mean, like I say, I would go and see him because he was the voice.
Yeah.
You take the voice away, some bands it works and some it doesn't. The new singer that Big Country's got right now, it works because he's the closest to Stuart that we're going to get. But when they had Mike, no disrespect to Mike, love Mike Peters, but
he's the alarm, isn't he?
It didn't seem to work for me. Yeah. But I love Mike Peters. But now they've got Simon, it seems to work. Yeah. And they've got Scott on bass, although Tony left, and Scott is an amazing bass player. So it works, but I'm not taking nothing away from Adam Lambert. I don't think it works with Queen for me personally, because it was Freddie. Yeah. There was only one Fred.
Well, I think this new film has sort of like hammered that point home, really, hasn't it?
There was only one Fred, and don't get me wrong, Adam Lambert, he's amazing. He's out of this world, but it doesn't seem to.
Well, I watched him on American Idol, and the amazing thing was he didn't even win it.
No.
Some lad won it who just wasn't in his league. Because Adam Lambert's gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
But.
So let's crack on. Let's think of what else. Let's say with Holdsworth, though, he's just over my head, really. Like some Malmsteen, it's all over my head. It's all after the stuff that I'm influenced by.
Yeah, it's like things, Malmsteen should be played on fiddles, but he does it, and it's just...
Well, the thing is, if it wasn't for Ulion Roth, he wouldn't get anywhere.
And if you actually look at what Malmsteen's playing, it's 3-note stuff, so it's very easy, but because of the speed and the technique he's got...
He's a fabulous guitarist. But you mentioned his bites. I saw Frank Dunnery, must have been could be 5 years ago now, I don't really remember, but it was in North Devon in Bideford, and it was the equivalent to one of his house parties.
Yeah? Yeah. He had a bald head then.
Yeah, and he wore a Celtic shirt.
Yeah.
But there was no amplifier, no PA, just an acoustic guitar. Yeah. The only thing was you weren't allowed to drink alcohol. So there's about like, and it was limited to something like 30 people.
Yeah.
And we paid X amount each.
Yeah.
And he just stood there and he just chatting to us and singing, and just telling anecdotes about the back in the day with it fights, and it was hugely entertaining.
I bet you.
It was quite intimate. He's quite as far away as you.
I would love to do something like that where one of your favourites, or you just stand there with a guitar.
I think he's available for hire because he makes more money out of doing that than he would.
Like you say, they're doing the Once Around the World tour now.
Yeah.
Not around the world though. They're doing it. They're coming to Liverpool
As a solo thing, is it?
I think it's a band, but he's the front. So I mean, that's,
so it's not It Bites. It's just Frank Dunnery.
It's the same, but it's the songs. He's going to sing them all, is he?
Yeah.
Like he says, people say get our bikes back together. Well, why?
Mm.
I'm the voice, and these players behind me can play what they played. So what's the
Yeah.
difference? It's like when you go to see Nick Kershaw. It's all different people, but it still sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly the same.
I think that It Bites. I mean, John Beck was a tremendous keyboard player and a backing vocals.
That harmonies as well.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like downplaying their contributions to the band.
Yeah.
And they were very much a part of it.
But they maybe just didn't get on. I mean, their bites are out. They're out now with a new singer. So they're doing their bit.
I think, is it called the Tall Ships or something? I just got an album by him a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was alright. Better than Yes's recent stuff, anyway.
I've not heard any of that.
No, it's just flogging a dead horse,
That was the Sex Pistols. That was one of their albums, wasn't it?
Yeah, flogging the dead horse.
Flogging the dead horse.
Yeah, but big country. I met Stuart Adams.
Yeah.
I met the whole band in the 80s.
I met the other ones, but I've not met Stuart.
Well, Tony Butler lives in Devon, North
Devon.
Devon.
Tony. Tony's a great lad.
He is actually, he's a smashing bloke. But I came down here. Anyway, what's your next question before I...
Oh, you good?
Oh yeah, I came down here in March last year.
Yeah.
And we were playing a lot of gigs in Devon, like in bands and solo gigs.
Yeah.
Like acoustics. And then I get the electric out and do some stuff with backing tapes and all that. And I came down here, the idea was I was going to be gigging here, but it didn't really pan out. The people I was supposed to be doing the gigs with, the original members of Angry Pirate, which was formed in my head 2 years ago, Angry Pirate, the whole concept, the set, everything, the way it should be played. Yeah. This is my idea, this is my thing.
Yeah.
And I got these two guys in, and the thing is, they were in other bands.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing 2 gigs in 18 months, so changes had to be made. So I've enlisted new people now, and I'm actually getting gigs.
Yeah, because you can't, if they're in other bands,
they're not available to me.
It's always the problem when you're in a band and somebody in your band goes in another band and oh man, it's a nightmare.
Well, my bass player at the moment is Nick from Riptide.
Right.
Riptide are a new band, metal in the traditional vein.
Yeah.
Yes, I told you I'd plug you, and I am. And I made it quite clear that Riptide is his baby and takes priority.
Yeah.
So Angry Pirate will be something that can run alongside. And I'm sure in the future, if Riptide do go on to bigger and better things, he'll fly away.
So I take it they're original.
Yes, mainly original. They do covers, but mainly it's Nick's baby. It's his band. He's the creative force behind it.
That's good.
So he's playing bass with me at the moment, which is great.
Brilliant.
And we're playing New Year's Eve at Molly's.
Molly's, of all places.
I love Molly's.
I haven't been in there yet.
It's great.
Is it? I passed it.
Saturday night is the rock night.
It starts late or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts. I think the band's come on about 10:30.
Is it basically took over from the Cali?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Same
I wasn't
people.
sure. I wasn't sure if it took over or it was... So it's basically after the Swinging Arm, you'll go there.
Well, if you're like me, you walk there and it's cold. Because it's walking distance.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
A lot of people have got to start getting into the idea of getting there, because it does seem for a lot of people to be out of the way where it is.
Yeah.
It's I'd say it's about 10 minutes from Hamilton Square.
Yeah. I mean, if you come out of the Swinging Arm, it's just up the road.
That's it.
You only go the long way, would you? You'd cut up and over, and, you know what I mean?
I've worked it out like meticulously from here. It's perfectly shortest distance, measured with string. Shortest distance. I've got it down to 15 minutes now at a brisk.
Yeah, a brisk walk.
Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, I came down here, and there's a lot of good musicians in Devon, but there's no music scene as such. There's not many venues, you see, and there's certainly not many for rock. So a lot of the bands are more like function bands, because that's the way they can get regular gigs.
Or country.
Not even so much country.
I knew a few country bands from Devon.
Yeah.
Because back in the 80s we were I was a country band touring everywhere. Not doing like traditional country, like country rock. But and a lot of the bands come from there, like Medicine Ball and things like that. I remember them from Devon.
I think there's a lot of folk there as well, which probably blends into country.
Sort of blends in, yeah.
And the first band I saw down here, you know, when I was doing like my reconnaissance missions, was in the Swinging Arm, and it was The Bite.
The Bite, I've not saw them yet.
Absolutely incredible band. Yeah. And it's got Lee Griffiths on guitar. I don't know the names of the other guys, sorry, but I was really impressed. And I thought, if this is the standard,
I want it.
Yeah, this is what I've been looking for. You know, and then I saw Insanity Beach, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, well, when
they're brilliant.
I came down about 10, 12 years ago, and it was still Insanity Beach.
Yeah.
And then you had The Key, which is not going anymore, which was John Lee. They're not going now, but they were amazing. And you had, as the Foundry, there was a lot of big, massive bands that just disappeared.
Yeah.
It just seems to have went...
Well, some people get old.
The Petford Insanity Beach is still...
Yeah. Some people just get old and they've had enough of it.
Stronger, you know.
They're absolutely awesome. And you know,
nice
you've got like
lads.
Carl Fithian's bands.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like Dr. Strange Love, Diamond
Sutra.
Sutra.
They're amazing.
And you know, then there's Carl Davison's band, you know, the Jalapenos.
Oh, they've been going for a while.
They have, yeah. And they're all like these superb bands.
Did you ever see Headbutt? 10-foot Headbutt?
No.
They were great. That was Carl.
Was it?
I think it's basically the second band you mentioned, Diamond Sutra, or what they're called. I think it's basically them.
Yeah.
Changed the name. But 10-foot Headbutt, they were brilliant. I went and seen them. The bass player's singing, so I think it's, you know what I mean, it was brilliant.
Well, I saw all these wonderful bands and wonderful guitarists, and I'm thinking, you know,
Hey.
I've just had my arse handed to me here.
I mean, there's a lot
I
of
guitarists
around here that are in duos, like Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, he's amazing, and Mark Harley, they were all in duos. Outstanding players. He's just amazing, anyway.
Yeah.
What's happened here? Enough. Right, so do you prefer live or studio? Live or studio?
It depends what type of music I'm playing.
Yeah.
Live, if I'm playing rock, I love it, you know, and I'm a ramshackle Neil Young, ragged glory, feedback orientated monster. Howling beast. And but in the studio, I'm a bit of a Todd Rundgren. Because I absolutely love Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing multi-tracked harmonies.
Yeah.
And interweaving harmonies. Yeah. Beach Boys style, you know, like do 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 do, and then, you know, I'll do the harmony to that, and I'll be there with the headphones on. It's quite obsessive. Yeah. I wouldn't play that sort of music live for obvious reasons, because it's not feasible really to do that sort of.
You need a lot of people in the band.
You need a choir, you know.
You need a lot, yeah. Unless you got yourself one of those harmonisers and just.
But so, to answer your question, at the moment, live, because I've been starved of it.
Yeah, yeah. I get that.
I want to rock out.
You want to rock it, just get out there and say, here, I'm here, have it.
That's right. The other music I can do it any time I want, you know. But I am a songwriter.
Yeah.
I did a thing 10 years ago now called Snail.
Snail.
And it was basically a real labour of love. It's about 10 or 11 songs. And it's very passionate love songs. Some people said they're the most depressing love songs they've ever heard.
Travis.
But it's all these harmonies, and it's very lush. Travis. It's very Brian Wilson, Prefab Sprout. I try to make the music as beautiful as possible, and I didn't put it up for sale. I just put it on torrent. Yeah. I thought, well, you know, nobody's going to buy it, so I may as well give it away. And people to this day are still downloading it.
Wow.
I've got it on my torrent, and all of a sudden I'm seeing somebody's downloaded it again today. I thought, what?
What's going on?
Yeah. At least 100,000 downloads.
It's pretty you're going to get that money.
They wouldn't have downloaded it then.
Not the way they are.
I would rather people be listening to it.
Yeah, well, that's people say to me, would you rather sell 10 albums or maybe, like you say, 100,000 people download it for nothing and listen to it? Obviously the same.
Exactly.
Because how much money are you going to get for 10 albums? No lot. And you spend it in a pub in night probably. So,
well, the thing is, a lot of the time they probably buy it off you for sympathy, you know.
But not only that, if these people have downloaded it, what's to say they're burning it on a CD and giving it to somebody and say, hey, check this out.
Exactly.
There's always that as well, you know.
I must admit, somebody put a comment on Demonoid.
Yeah.
When that used to be a really good torrent site.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is my stuff I'm giving away free. So, you know, don't rag on me for using torrents, because I'm actually using it to give stuff away.
Give stuff away as well, yeah.
And he said, I love this album. Your lower register reminds me of Scott Walker. I thought, well, I'll have that all day.
I love that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Brilliant.
Yeah, I am a bit of a Scott head as well.
Yeah.
I love Scott Walker. Not his new stuff.
Older.
Yeah. The ones with actual songs and singing on it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like smacking a cow's ass and kicking a box.
There you go.
Have you read any of it?
No yet, but I suppose you're going to introduce me to it.
It's horrific. No, I wouldn't.
His newer stuff.
Yeah, well, newer stuff like the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It's all like, you know...
Oh,
my bunions are hurting. You think, I'm glad I didn't buy this shite.
Oh, God. That sounds terrible.
It
just sounds like he's money for old rope.
And the joke is, you know, I think it was 2005, the album was called The Drift. All these music critics are going,
he's drifted well.
This is the stuff. This is album of the year, a triumph, 5 stars, marvellous. And I'm listening to him thinking, is it just me?
Something similar happened to me years ago. I went to the Westport Arms in Dundee, and it's for all the bands. Like, I suppose it's like the place over in Liverpool, I can't remember what it's called, where the original bands go. I think it's shutting down actually.
Yeah.
Butler had it. You know what I mean? Crazy House or something. It's a bit like that. And me and my mate were on, he's a guitarist as well. And this young band were on. And my God, sorry about that, they were awful.
Yeah.
They were just awful. And in the paper the next day it said, razor guitar work, sharp guitar work. We were like, what were they watching?
Yeah, what are they watching, yeah? You probably
They
fancied the singer.
They were horrible. It was, and that's what was in the paper, razor sharp guitar work. We were like...
One of my favourite bands is from Dundee.
Who's it?
Danny Wilson.
Danny Wilson, and that's going back to your Bebop Deluxe thing you were on about or whatever. They sound very like them. You know,
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan, sorry, that's what I meant. Steely Dan, they're very Steely Dan-ish.
Yeah, that's where I got the Dan from. Well, it's from a film, Meet Danny Wilson, with Sinatra in they used to call him Steely Danny.
Jed's now with Simple Minds, based in the way. And Gary, he's basically in LA. He
is, songwriting.
Selling everything and everything.
Yeah,
good old Gary.
I know Gary.
Yeah,
we're friends on Facebook.
They're all great, man. They're all great guys.
What a songwriter, what a singer. I'm always like moaning that he should make another album.
Yeah, well...
I think the last thing he did was King Al.
Yeah. The last time I saw him, it was he was backing up Deacon Blue.
Yeah.
Because my other mate, I played in bands with Gregor, he plays with Deacon Blue now. He's a guitarist for them now. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see them this year because I asked them too late.
Yeah.
So he was like, tickets are gone, mate. I was like, no, I don't know about it. I've been to see them 4 times, backstage, whatever.
So I've got all Gary Clark's output as far as I can see, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's 10 short songs about love is a wonderful album.
Brilliant.
But for me, when you mention Dundee, I always think, well, I don't just think of Danny Wilson and Gary Clark, I always think of Gordon Strachan.
Yeah.
Because he used to play for Dundee back
Well, there was another amazing singer from Dundee, it was Billy.
Billy Mackenzie. Yeah.
What a voice.
That was sort of like a golden era for Scottish acts, wasn't it, that time?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was coming out with Billy, there was Danny Wilson, there's Big Country,
Simple
Minds, Hue and Cry.
Yeah, I like that.
What I mean? And later on a bit, you've got Wet, Wet, Wet.
Yeah.
But there's also other bands. It's just sort of, I can't remember the names of them all. Yeah. You know, big Scottish bands that were just, but yeah, there's some belters.
Oh yeah, the Remote album by Hue and Cry is tremendous.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I just love it. I actually, in my acoustic set, I do a couple
of
Hue and Cries. I do Looking for Linda and Violently.
I mean, the songs are about something. They're not just, I'll just write a load of rubbish. Yeah. They're actually...
They tell you a story. I'm thinking, when I play live, I don't have the lyrics in front of me. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of bands, you will see they've got like their iPads and all that. Yeah. But when I'm doing my acoustic set, you say, you remember all those lyrics? I say, but I choose the songs that tell a story.
Yeah. So you're not really going to
And the lyrics make sense. It's when the lyrics don't make sense, I can't remember them.
Yeah. Well, some of the songs you put in front of you and you go, somebody, oh, do that as a crowd pleaser. You'll never remember the words.
Yeah, never remember the words.
It's just
Yeah.
only bits you will remember will be the chorus because that sticks out.
Yeah.
The rest of it's a gobbledygook.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any. There's no story. It's just.
Yeah, and you can't. If you analyse the lyrics, they don't seem to be about anything.
No,
you know.
they don't. They just seem to just be.
There are some songs though that the idea of them is always better than the reality of actually performing them.
Yeah.
2 examples, which I've done in bands because it seemed like a good idea at the time, was "Addicted to Love" by Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
And it starts off. It doesn't seem to have a beginning or a middle or an end.
No.
It starts off and that's it. There's no dynamism in it.
This is a breakdown now.
And it's none of those, how are we going to end this, lads?
Do we go anywhere here? Yeah, it doesn't seem to, yeah.
And the other one's White Wedding.
And it goes doing very well. And that's not, it goes doing well. They go doing everything.
You can't, it's hard to end it. It's just like, it just doesn't go anywhere.
Where are we going? End it! Then you listen to them playing it live and you go, well, there's an ending. We'll do it that way.
Yeah, we'll nick their ending.
We'll nick their ending because I don't know clear
that's when you find bands decide to do medleys.
Yeah.
Because they can't figure out how to end the songs.
Just go to this.
Go to the next one. Yeah,
then you get to the very last one. Oh, we'll end this. The way we started the first thing, no, because we're going back and start again. Yeah.
And the thing is, those songs are very, very studio structured.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily turn out live in a good way. I saw Robert Palmer doing "Addicted to Love," and it was pretty poor.
Yeah.
It's just like a barrel organ, you know.
But that's the thing. A lot of these artists write songs in the studio, and there's no thought in it. It's just, I'm not saying it's crap, but there's no thought. It's just bump, and it's done.
Some people work better that way, though.
They do. I mean, there's been a lot of hits written that way. Let's do it that way, and it's worked.
Well, Frank Marino, he used to go in the studio and write in the studio. He used to go in with no material. And that was his best stuff. Because it was actually more complex.
Yeah.
And Eastern influence. You know, it's very... What he used to call his music acid-laced. Because he hadn't done acid for a long time, but I think he was still bouncing off the effects from years earlier. Right. It was brilliant music, but he writes in the studio. Sometimes, I mean, what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah. If somebody tells me to write a song, I can write one like that.
Just write it,
Yeah. I got asked to do an album, an official Robespierre album.
Yeah.
Because through public demand, this thing was released.
Yeah.
This is Die You Heathen Die, which is a set of demos me and Gordon made in the early 1980s.
Okay.
And
it's on vinyl.
It's on vinyl as
It
well.
wouldn't be for the 80s.
Well, this is 2010.
This is when it came out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there was originally a series of demo tapes.
Yeah.
And we managed to track us down through the World Wide Web.
This you do.
And put them on record.
Great.
And of course, literally, public demand meant that they wanted another album, which came out earlier this year.
Great.
This is Garden of Hell by Robespierre.
Yeah.
And let me see how we're doing with this. Yeah. Came out on vinyl and CD. Both of them are available on CD.
Yeah.
But I wrote the songs more or less in the space of 2 weeks.
Wow.
For all of them, from scratch.
From scratch?
Yeah.
Great.
It's a lovely little thing.
So did you write the music as well, or did they write the music?
I did a lot.
There
you go, nice little pictures there.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
I wrote the music and the lyrics, and Gordon did his drums bit.
Yeah. That's it.
And it was home recorded.
Yeah.
The guitars and vocals and bass were recorded in Devon.
In Devon.
And the drums were recorded up here.
Yeah.
And it was all like mixed and what have you in Devon on a
amazing.
laptop.
It's amazing how you do things now.
Yeah.
I do that now. I'll record stuff, then send it over the old internet, and then they put the bass on, and you'll send it back to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I'll do it to my brother, and he'll send it back to you, and you're like, now you could tweak it and turn it down and add bits on. And
we do, yeah.
Years ago, you didn't have that. Why are you not in the studio? We've been here for 4 hours waiting on you. You numpty.
You don't need to do it anymore, do you?
Paying loads of money for this and nothing's happening. Anyway,
that's it. You know, it's very cost effective as well.
That's brilliant. So, people, you've seen what that was, well, you will, because it'll just keep replaying on Facebook and YouTube and wherever. You'll be sharing it as well.
Garden of Hell by Robespierre on Shadow Kingdom Records, limited edition.
Shadow Kingdom. It sounds very...
from the United States of America.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what gear are you using just now?
Well, for many years I used a Gibson amp called Lab Series.
A Lab Series.
And I was very excited to get that in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Because it was used by Alan Holdsworth and B.B. King. And of course, with it being Gibson, it was supposed to be the state of the art, the next great thing. It's a solid state amp, and I used that for many, many years. Yeah. And then I thought, I'm going to try and get a tube amplifier, so I got myself a Blackstar HT40, which is the best amp I've ever had.
Never tried them yet.
I don't use effects with it.
No.
You don't need to. The distortion sound.
It was amazing.
It's only one speaker, one 15-inch speaker.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, it's loud. It is loud.
So
and
it's
it's
Blackstar
clear. Blackstar Club HT40.
It's only a 40 watt as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's absolutely, it's monstrous. Oh dear. I only have it on half and people say it's too loud.
Oh. No.
So guitar wise, with Angry Pirates I got myself a nice blue Les Paul Studio. I have a Les Paul Standard.
Okay.
Gibsons. I've got a Hamer Flying V.
Hamer.
I've got a Leader Telecaster, a Gordon Smith Firebird. I give my son my Hofner Presidents. Let's see what else I've got. I've got a Kramer Striker.
Striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else have I got? It's getting a bit silly, isn't it? Ibanez Purple Haze Roadstar.
I was going to say, I thought I saw you with Ibanez in the picture.
Yeah. I think that's enough to be going on with. Oh, and the Yamaha acoustic.
This is all the Yamaha. Just throw that in for goodness. Well, you need an acoustic, that's for sure, because when you're jamming around, you're better off with the acoustic, aren't you?
And the effects I use, I've got a Gem Crybaby Wah from, I bought it in Hessie's in Liverpool in 1972.
It's the second time I've interviewed somebody who's mentioned that, because I said that's well before my time.
And a digital delay pedal, and that's it really.
Yeah. 2
pedals. The rest of the sound comes from the fingers and the knobs on the guitar.
Yes, as you would.
And I've found, from my own perspective, the more effects that I put on, the more confused I get.
The wall of sound starts coming. Like, I can't deal with that.
I mean, Frank Marino's his pedal board's about as big as that rug there. You know, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
You know,
he
needs a sat nav to get from one end to the other.
Oh, God.
How he keeps his concentration and his focus and knows what he's up to, I don't know. But you see, I like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Because I went to see Ted Nugent in the 70s, and he doesn't use any effects at all. Because according to him, it messes up the signal between the guitar and the amplifier. And he's one of the first guitarists that I ever saw who plays his amps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got that Gibson Birdland. He just goes up and he knows exactly what he's doing.
What he wants.
Because he's not using effects.
Yeah.
But with the Blackstar HT40, I sound like I'm promoting it, I'm working for them, but I'm not. It's the best amp I've ever had. The sound is incredible. Yeah. And I'm rehearsing with people, I'm saying, and they're looking and they're listening and saying, no effects. This is just the amp.
Has it got effects in it?
No.
Nothing.
It's got a reverb, distortion, just typical.
Brilliant.
Blackstar were actually people who were employed by Marshall.
Right.
And they wanted to take the amps to the next level. But Marshall has got a very traditional sound in general. They have the Marshall sound. And there's a thing on the HT40 called ISF, where if you turn it one way, it's American Marshalls. You turn it the other way, it's the good old British Marshall.
Boing.
I have it more or less in the middle,
I'll just take a bit of both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's a Marshall amplifier with a different name. But I do recommend them. And they are cost effective. And some people get these huge rigs, but I like
through the roof.
Yeah, some
blow
people
your ears off.
More and more people are buying combos.
Yeah, Well, when I was using amps, I was using combos myself. I found them to be okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
And of course, bands like Insanity Beach, they're going straight through the PA. I'm like, where's the amps on stage?
Yeah.
And the sound is incredible. You
Yeah.
know, they're using an iPad to
That's right.
sort the sound out. I'm thinking, wow, this is just something else.
Yeah.
You know, this technology.
It's just amazing nowadays.
Yeah. And it sounds great.
It does.
But for me, as a guitarist with the way I play, you know, like I say, the Ragged Glory, grunge
The old
cut,
way.
I like to go up to the amplifier and just go, all that lark, and
Yeah.
position the amplifier in a certain way that if I stand at a certain place, it's
Yeah.
going to give me a certain feedback.
Yeah. I seen that when I went to see, before he died, Gary at the Empire Moor.
Gary Moore, yeah.
You had like a star, and you used to see him, you'd go up to it and stand.
Yeah.
Especially on Parisian.
Yeah.
But then he would work these amp himself. You would go up to it and you see him turn mayor reverb on, mayor off,
Yeah.
mayor on, mayor, and you just go in certain areas and.
Well, when you see him do that, you realise how much he's influenced by Santana.
Yeah,
Carlos used to do that. He used to have these little crosses on the stage.
yeah, right. It's
certain
here.
places.
Get under there now,
Yeah.
and it's got to be definitely there.
Yeah.
You know, and then somebody moves away, and you go away. Ah!
I saw Gary Moore 5 times.
Yeah, I've only seen him once.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got this,
Very
I
young
mean,
was.
That's basically the guy that made me say, I don't want to be a drummer. I don't want to be a guitar player.
Yeah.
It was him. I mean, I had just a house like yourself, but I had wee things like that you've got over there. And I used to use them with podiums, you with tennis racket,
Oh,
and
yeah.
jump on them, and I'd relentlessly watch that Swedish concert thing that he done in
Yeah.
the 80s. And I was him. I had my hair like him, and I was him. I couldn't play nothing, you know what I mean? I knew a few chords and maybe
was what I
a
saw, them,
scale
all
or
those
something,
solos.
you know what I mean? And I wanted to be him. And every time I tried to learn his solos, it was bloody awful. But I'm getting there now.
Well, it's quite funny because I quite like Joe Bonamassa. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people don't. And somebody posted
like
on
Joe.
YouTube and he said, all he is a Gary Moore wannabe. And I posted underneath, well, aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Yeah. And then we ended up having a great conversation. That's talking about
Sure,
Gary
aren't
Moore.
we all?
So
We
you
all.
can't knock a man for wanting to be Gary Moore.
No, you can't. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's like somebody saying, he wants to be as a Satriani you want to be. Well, you can't knock that. That's what you want to
That's
be.
what you want to be.
If you want to be him, you want to be that, you want to be whatever.
Yeah, everybody's got to have some sort of
Yeah,
like target,
definitely.
you know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. For me, I don't know. Sometimes I want to be a cross between Frank Marino and Neil Young,
Yeah.
which is a sort of like very fast noise.
Yeah. So who do you want to be now? I just want to be me and be able to play like my heroes and that's it.
Well, people have said that, you know, David, you do have your own style, but
Yeah.
it's a style that I've honed, if
Yeah.
you like.
Well, you
I've honed the
work
sound.
on it. Yeah.
It's you know, it's not a clean sound.
Yeah.
People say it's not very technical, but you know, if you want me to play it technically, I will play it technically.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the sound, for the sake of Angry Pirates, this is how I play.
That's how we play, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the style I'm using for this sound.
Yeah.
Because I find sometimes if you're playing in a 3-piece and you're playing it very prettily,
Yeah.
it sounds empty.
Mhm.
But if you're slashing and burning,
Yeah, it's
full.
fuller.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you notice that it's got in a police, they're out there. In a 3-piece, it's got to be solid, you know, and you'll try and play a bit more.
and there's an appreciation of space as well in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
music. You don't have to play all the time.
Some songs, especially if it's cleaner songs,
Yeah.
big jingly things, and well, you just got to look at the police.
Yeah, I like sustaining chords
You
as
know
well,
what I mean?
just letting the
way-
bass and the
way
drums
he
do
does
the
it,
bit.
it's amazing,
Yeah.
great stuff.
Well,
Anyway,
he's another one who's an effects wizard, isn't he, Andy
oh, well,
Summers?
yeah, it's as big as that. You know, he's got a rat that's coming out his ears. Holy hell.
Have you ever heard the first Montrose album?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
it's absolutely incredible. 1973, I think it was. Sammy
Yeah.
Hagar, Ronnie Montrose. It's probably the greatest rock debut album ever made.
Yeah.
Even better than Van Halen's first.
Wow.
That's how good it is. And the Van Halen debut album's tremendous, you know.
Yeah.
But it's got some fantastic songs. Anyway, in 2012, Ronnie Montrose died.
Yeah.
And he did a tribute thing with the original band members of Montrose.
Mhm.
And he got Joe Satriani in to play Ronnie Montrose's bit. Now, Satriani can play rims around Ronnie Montrose.
Yeah.
So how come he wasn't as good?
don't know.
That's it.
It's just what he done.
Yeah. Ronnie Montrose, they did Bad Motor Scooter, Space Station Number 5, Rock the Nation.
Yeah.
He played everything right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't heavy enough.
It just wasn't.
He was so technically perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't catch fire.
No, it just didn't sort of stand up.
You know, you've got to attack the guitar.
Yeah.
You know, some people around here, they play guitar, I molest it.
As you say, assault it.
That's it. It ain't pretty.
Everyone has said that once on Facebook. You play guitars, I assault them, and Cal put under, Cal Billy put under, yeah, they fixed them for you. And they put, nice one, they fixed them for you.
And yet, you know, you see some guitarists like Neil Young, and he's still playing the same guitar he played in the 70s.
Well, look at Willie Nelson, there's a big hole in it there. Yeah. He's played it and it still sounds great.
And we're all so precious about our guitars. Oh, there's a little scratch on it.
Oh no, don't touch it.
Yeah, you get so traumatised and you get a little scratch on your Gibson. But you realise that people are paying money for guitars already scratched.
Have you seen them now, what they're doing?
Yeah, they're
My brother's
distressed.
been asked to do it because he builds guitars back in Scotland. And he drags it up the road, takes the body off on a string and drags it up the road back and forward, and then he just, you know, the lacquers over it, and he goes, it's called a relic.
Yeah, it's a relic.
I mean, look at
relic.
the Van Halen relic that came out, it's $3,000. It's been thrown up down the street.
I remember once a few years ago, I was with my son walking on down one of the streets of Liverpool, and he had the Rory Gallagher Strat, and it was going for about $3,000, and it was basically a Strat that had been battered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing now. I've watched so many guys on YouTube, just, this is how you relic a guitar, and they'll tie a rope on it, and get on a bike, and just pull it, kind of boy, ding, lump, flump up the road.
Oh,
There's
no
nothing
thanks.
on it, it's just the body.
Yeah.
And then they'll get it back and smooth it off, and then lacquer it and go, there you are. It's crazy.
No thanks, yeah.
For the pint grands. Now, right, anyway, we're going to move on.
Okay.
Do you have any funny stories of being in bands and stuff that's happened mentally?
Oh dear. Funny stories.
Yeah.
Oh. There are stories, there are things that have happened that I've looked back and laughed, but at the time I was absolutely homicidal.
I bet you.
Basically, like drunken bass players, drunken drummers.
Oh yeah, well, I've been there.
Going over the top, and nights where I worked really hard to get record companies to come and see us, and seeing a bass player fall over before the first song began.
Nightmare.
Yeah, absolute nightmares. I don't really have
You
many.
look at them now, you probably go, oh Lord.
Yeah, whatever.
Funny.
I'm glad I wasn't a star. It would have been a dreadful star.
You'd be a dreadful star.
Yeah, I don't think I would have coped well with stardom. No, I can't think of any funny stories, to be honest.
No?
No.
Okay, so
I'm actually quite serious about music.
basically coming up to the last question now. If you were to meet one of your mega player guitar players, what would you say to them?
I've already done it.
And would you act normal, or would you be like a stupid teenager and go off your head?
Okay, well, I may as well tell you what actually happened.
Yeah, go on.
In 2002, I managed to get an audience, if you like, with Frank Marino, my favourite guitar player. And I thought, how am I going to be? Am I going to be like a big giggly schoolgirl, you know?
That's what I mean.
And I walked into his dressing room, and he had this big smile, and he goes, David, I've been looking forward to meeting you so much. And I'm like,
oh
well. And I just looked at him and went, it's you. It's actually you, isn't it? It's you. And we spent an hour chatting. And a friend of mine who went with Roger, he said, you two were chatting like you'd known each other all your life, like you were all mates.
It's
So
brilliant, that.
we were just like chatting and laughing, talking about his music. He asked me about how I was doing. And it was just two people talking.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah.
Just very open. And
He's a wonderful, humble, lovely man.
absolutely.
And I thought, and you're Frank Marino.
That's absolutely
And I
brilliant.
thought, you must meet loads of people.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah.
Anyway, at the end, you know, well, funny story actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Funny
go on.
story.
I said, Frank, he said, the first time I saw you, I said it was the Manchester Free Trade Hall with Lone Star being the opening act.
Lone Star, as in the country band.
No, they were a rock band from Wales. The
So
guitar
it's
player,
different
your guitar player ended up replacing Schenker in UFO.
Okay.
Tonka Chapman. And they were really good, Lone Star. The album Firing on All Six is a classic. That's from 1976, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said, I saw you at the Free Trade Hall in Manchester, your first tour. And he goes, "Oh, you're the guy who turned up." Well, actually, it was a sellout, but he was just being funny.
It's funny.
And I said, "Yes, Frank, I did wave."
You never saw me 300 mile away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me again.
But anyway, yeah, we took our seats at, this was St David's Hall in Cardiff. Was where I met him. Anyway, I sat there, and Frank Marino was getting ready to come on next, and he looks out into the crowd, and he sees me, and he goes...
And you're like, oh, I'm embarrassed now.
No,
Oh,
I just thought, that's his sense of humour. You
Yeah,
know, he waved,
brilliant.
he remembered
Absolutely
that.
brilliant.
And at the end, he remembered my name, he remembered Roger's name.
Great.
You know, it's just, he's not my hero. I don't really get to meet my heroes.
No.
Because I don't really want to.
Yes, I've said that to people. Maybe you don't want to because they may not live up to what you think they are.
Yeah.
Because seemingly my hero was Gary Moore, and seemingly a lot of people that I know that met him said that he could be very difficult.
Yeah.
He could be very stubborn and hard, and you know. And then other people say he's a very nice guy.
I've heard that.
I think it's
he goes into guitar shops and he's really sweet.
How you could catch him
Yeah.
if he's been on the whiskey.
Yeah, I know.
He used to love, well, he's definitely tell you that.
Exactly. Poor
But
man.
to be honest with you, if I had the chance to shake his hand and say, well, you helped me become who I am today,
Yeah.
I think I'd still like to do it. Even if he went, oh, piss off. I would still like to do it, you know what I mean?
I think a lot of musicians are very shy.
Yeah, well, they could be. I mean, I've not had stardom, but Wilrods County back in the day, we had to sell a lot in the country scene. We were playing everywhere, and we had to sell loads of tapes back then.
Yeah.
And I had to sign them all. It was embarrassing. We were going, and I got really embarrassed. I don't know what to say to people when they go, oh, yes, gosh. And then they go, I don't understand you, but I can understand you when you're singing.
Yeah.
And I was really embarrassed to speak to these people, but they're buying your tapes, so you have to speak to them. And so I can get where that comes from, yeah.
I've had periods in my life where I've signed autographs, you know, I've signed copies of the albums or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Humble.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what do you want my autograph for?
Well, I
I'm
thought
just
that a lot.
Dave, you know.
I thought that a lot. Even though I was signing a nom de plume, like, used to call me Randy Sidewalker for
Yeah.
unknown reason, but we'll not go into that. And even though I was signing that, it still felt like,
Yeah, felt inappropriate.
yeah, I felt like I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's it.
And then they come up to you at the end of the gigs and they want to speak to you, and I was like, I don't know what to say.
Actually,
thanks.
a lot of the time they just wanted the picture taken with me, which was really nice.
Just say, thanks.
And I'd say something to make him laugh. I mean, some bloke come up to me and he said, I'm 56 years old. And he said, I must admit, I've never heard of you. And I said, look, this was then, I said, I'm 56 years old and I've never heard of me either. He just like made jokes about it. And he just like creased laughing. Yeah. But I know, like, people like Brian Wilson and Todd Rundgren are my heroes. And maybe Paddy McAloon as well. Would I like to meet him? No.
No.
Because let them enjoy their life without... They probably get enough hassle anyway.
Yeah.
Why should I join in?
Yeah.
Let them have a lovely life. Let them be private.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stalk them. I don't know who they're married to.
Never
If they've got kids or
whatever. Bumped into them, maybe just be, oh, thanks.
Yeah. That's probably what I would say. You know, thank you for the music.
Thank you for the music, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Good memories.
I must admit, I did bump into Jack D, the comedian.
He's very dry, is he?
This is a good story.
Well, the battery doesn't run.
This is a good story. Jack D. It's not rock and roll orientated, but it's a good story anyway. I was working in North Devon as a supervisor for a place for adults with autism.
Yeah.
And it was one of the local places there called the Milky Way, I think it was, which was a place where kids could go on rides and feed the animals, pet the animals. And they decided that the lad I was looking after was going to do a job which was mucking out the gerbils and the rabbits, which basically involved him stood there staring into space and Billy Bollocks here mucking out the flipping things for him.
No.
Anyway, there was a bloke there with his wife and his daughter, and he had quite long hair. You know, a bit like a beetle cut, I suppose you'd call it. And I thought, you've got a familiar face. I can't place you though. Anyway, I've got like the brush and I've got the shovel and all that, and I've got the hamster shit or whatever it was, and I'm pushing this wheelbarrow out with a face like a smacked ass. And I hear this voice, he goes, "Excuse me, please, can you tell me where the birds of prey are?" And I looked up and I thought, I know that voice.
That voice there.
And I said, strange as it may seem, that I don't actually work here. And it was just, he keeps his hair long so people won't recognise him, which works.
A wig then.
But as soon as he opened his mouth, that voice.
Jack D.
It's Jack D.
I know that voice a mile away.
I said to him, so, by the way, I love your show and I love your sense of humour. And he just went, thanks, and smiled and walked away.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to be in this flipping act, I know I am.
You'll probably use you.
Yeah.
There was this guy in the wheelbarrow giving his socks. And okay.
He was working with some lad with autism and he ended up mucking out all the gerbils and all the rabbits. So the bloke stood there.
Okay, right, one last question before I wrap this up. Do you ever get nervous?
Yes.
Very much so?
No,
or
just enough.
Just enough?
Yeah, because I don't drink when I play. I mean, I'm not against having a pint.
No.
But I don't drink at all when I play live.
So you're one of them that has to have a gig poo, as Martin would say.
Yeah.
You have to run to the toilet 100 times.
Yeah, probably, that's probably what it is. But I enjoy the nerves. I sort of get off on the nerves.
I think I do as well. I don't see it as nerves, I see it as excitement.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
That's
I call
a better word.
Because Martin, I was spending the Martin said, I get nervous and I've got to go for a gig poo or whatever. And I go, I don't get that. I just get, come on, I want to get on. You know.
Well, I focus better when I'm sober. I focus completely. I'm in control.
Yeah.
When I drink, I get even sloppier than I am normally, you know.
I thought there was one time when I don't drink now, many moons ago, when I did it, I thought it was better. But I watched back some recordings and went,
that's it.
Rubbish.
Oh dear.
I'm glad that I found the sober side.
I thought I hit that glory note beautifully, and then you listen
terrible.
to the recording and you think,
oh Lord. Okay.
You remember lyrics better.
Well,
everything's better. And you're in the moment more, I think.
And don't you just hate, even when you're sober, you must have done it. What's the words? What's the lyric? Just a split second before it comes to singing, it comes.
Yeah, sometimes you need a trigger sometimes. But what I can do is that I can make lyrics up on the spot.
Yeah.
You know, the sort of like scat jazz sort of thing, you know.
Brilliant.
Or, you know, if they say, what happened to the third verse? You sang the first verse third. I said, yeah, I did that because I thought it sounded better.
I thought it sounded better.
You know, it's better than singing nothing if you don't remember the lyrics. I love a certain spontaneity, you know.
I mean, I've heard of guys that have heave and hold, as they call it, all the way through the song. And no one's on the wiser. It just sounds right.
Reminds me when I saw
Scotland, the heave and hold.
Yeah, well, Michael Stipe, he's the king of that, isn't he? Because he made a whole album called Murmur. It was all round in the
sounds like the guy off of King of the Hill.
Oh yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Boomhauer.
That's him. No, the other guy. Yeah. Sounds like Elvis, but a bit more.
Yeah, he's the one who picks up all the women, isn't he?
It's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Giggity, that's another thing. Anyway, okay, folks, we're going to wrap that up here. That was David Cooke of Angry Pirate, and probably other bands as well.
Road's beer, about a thing called Mortuary Road. But I'm focusing now on Angry Pirates. That's the main thing. Okay. Yeah.
So keep a watch out for them. Yeah. Until the next time on Hugh Rocko interviews on location. We'll see you later. Peace out. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Hugh.